She brushed it off like it was no big deal. It was just a trip fling. But he made me feel something I haven't felt in years, she said, almost like she was justifying it to herself as much as to me. I just gave a quiet nod and let her start packing. Now she's stuck in Vegas, broke and stranded, begging me for a ticket home, but I've already disappeared from her world. Hey guys, before I dive deeper into the story, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and drop a like if you want more stories like this one. It really helps out and I appreciate it. So here I am, typing this out from a throwaway account because even though I've moved on, this story still stings when I think about it. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and this mess is about my ex-girlfriend, Lila, who's 27 now. We were together for 4 solid years. We first crossed paths back in college, when everything felt wide open and full of possibilities. I was knee-deep in my IT courses, pulling late nights to keep up with projects, while Lila was a marketing major. She was always the social type, the kind of person who could light up a room, and she had these huge dreams of traveling the world and starting her own brand. From the very beginning, I was all in. Loyalty was my thing, maybe even to a fault. I really believed we were a team, laying the groundwork for something lasting. Right after graduation, we rented this small but cozy apartment in a quiet little Midwestern town. The place wasn't much, but it felt like ours. I landed a steady job as a systems analyst at a local tech company, good salary, benefits, the whole package. Lila, on the other hand, had a harder time getting started. Entry-level marketing jobs didn't pay well, and she was miserable grinding through them. So I stepped up. I covered most of the rent, handled the bills, and even picked up side gigs coding on weekends. I wanted her to be free to chase her passions without carrying all that financial weight. I'd tell her, "You've got this. Just focus on what excites you. I'll take care of us." And she did chase it. Over time, she poured herself into this lifestyle blog about travel and self-discovery. I was always in the background, proofreading her posts, fixing technical issues on her site, and, funding a lot of it too. I still remember when she wanted to attend that marketing conference in Chicago. I skipped my own work retreat just so I could drive her there. While she sat in on panels, I was camped out in the hotel lobby with my laptop, knocking out code. Or the birthday when I surprised her with that camera she'd been eyeing for months. I saved up bit by bit until I could finally buy it. She squealed, hugged me so hard I thought she'd break me, and whispered, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Moments like that made it all worth it. I wasn't flashy, I wasn't spontaneous, I was steady, reliable, the guy she could count on every single time. But looking back now, maybe I was too reliable. Maybe I became predictable. As the years passed, Lila started craving more adventure. She'd scroll through Instagram or TikTok, staring at influencers traveling to Bali or partying on yachts, and I'd hear her sigh. Sometimes she'd even joke, "Our routine is so safe." I didn't think much of it. I figured she was just stressed from her job. I tried to shake things up. I suggested planning a trip together, just the two of us, but there was always a reason it couldn't happen. Money, timing, whatever. Then about 6 months ago, her closest friends decided to take a girls' trip to Vegas. Her eyes lit up like Christmas morning when she told me, "This is exactly what I need," she said, grinning from ear to ear. I wasn't thrilled about the idea. Vegas has that wild reputation, but I trusted her. I even transferred money into her account so she wouldn't have to stress about spending. As she boarded the plane, I sent her a quick text. "Have fun, babe. Just be safe." She was gone for 5 days. At first, she sent little updates. "Miss you, poolside cocktails." Then one night, silence. Hours with no reply. When she finally texted back, it was short. "Crazy night. Talk tomorrow." I didn't push. I figured she was just tired or busy. But when she came back, something was different. She hugged me at the airport, but it was stiff, like she was going through the motions. Her laugh didn't sound the same. That night in bed, she turned her back to me, muttering something about jet lag. The next week, she pulled further away. She was glued to her phone, smiling at messages in a way that twisted my gut. Whenever I asked about Vegas, she brushed it off with vague answers. "Oh, shows and slots, nothing exciting." I tried to bridge the gap. I cooked her favorite dinner, suggested a movie night, but she stayed distant. Then one evening, while she was showering, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing on the counter. Curiosity got the best of me. I know it's not right, but the red flags were piling up. I picked it up and scrolled, and there it was, messages with some guy named Ryan. Flirty emojis, inside jokes about their wild Vegas night. selfies of them together at a bar, his arm around her like it belonged there. And worse, the texts hadn't stopped. Recent messages about late-night calls. Him calling her my spark. My stomach dropped. It wasn't just a fling. She'd hooked up with him, and it had spilled into real life. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling like the ground had disappeared beneath me. For years, I had put her first. Turned down career opportunities in other states because she wasn't ready to move. Stayed up late fixing her blog after it crashed. Comforted her when jobs didn't pan out. I thought we were building a future. Now, it felt like all of that was gone, erased by one trip. Betrayal doesn't even cover it. I set her phone back down and forced myself to stay calm. Blowing up wasn't going to fix anything. But I knew I needed the truth. The next day, I couldn't hold it anymore. We were sitting in the living room. She was half distracted with her laptop. I was pretending to work. "Lila," I said, my voice steady. "We need to talk about Vegas." Her head snapped up. For just a second, I saw guilt flash across her face. Then it hardened into that defensive mask. She folded her arms. "What about it?" She shot back, her tone sharp, like I was accusing her of something ridiculous. I took a deep breath and laid it all out. "I saw the messages with Ryan. The photos. The plans. You hooked up with him, didn't you? And it's still happening." She didn't deny it. Didn't even look shocked. She just sighed and leaned back like I was the one overreacting. "All right, fine," she said flatly. "Yeah, it happened. We met at a club. My friends ditched me early, and Ryan was there, fun, charming. One thing led to another. It was only supposed to be a Vegas fling. But he made me feel something I haven't felt in years." Her words hit me like body shots. I stared at her, barely able to process. "Something you haven't felt? Really, Lila? We've been together for years. I thought we had something solid." She actually rolled her eyes at me, like a teenager, and got up, pacing the room with this restless energy. "Solid?" she scoffed. "Ethan, come on. At this point, we're basically just roommates. You go to work, come home, we watch some TV, and then repeat it all the next day. Sure, it's comfortable, but where's the spark? Where's the excitement or passion? Ryan's different. He's spontaneous, adventurous. We stayed up all night talking about dreams, travel, living big. With him, I feel something real, a spark. I can't ignore that. I have to see where it goes." Her words cut deep. Roommates. After everything I'd done, that's what I was reduced to. The anger was boiling under my skin, but I forced it down. No begging, no shouting. That wasn't who I was. "So let me get this straight," I said evenly. "You're justifying cheating because I'm too stable? I've backed you through everything. Your blog, your career struggles, even this Vegas trip I helped pay for. And now you're tossing it all aside for some guy you met at a casino?" She stopped pacing and turned toward me with that smug little look, the one that said she already thought she had the upper hand. "Don't twist this into being about money, Ethan. That's low. This isn't about you being a bad partner. You're not. You're just safe, predictable. I need more than that. I've been stuck, and Vegas opened my eyes. Ryan gets it. He's already talking about me visiting, maybe even moving there. We could build something exciting. You and I, we've hit a plateau. Dragging this out isn't fair to either of us." The hypocrisy almost made me laugh. She had leaned on my stability for years, used it to chase her self-discovery. And now she had the nerve to call it boring. Plateaued. "Lila," I said quietly, "real relationships aren't non-stop fireworks. We built something solid. Or at least I thought we did." She shrugged, almost dismissively. "See, that's the problem. You think real means settling. I deserve sparks. I deserve adventure. Ryan makes me feel alive. I'm sorry if that hurts you, but I have to choose myself." Then she twisted the knife just a little deeper. "Besides, you'll be fine. You're always composed. You'll land on your feet." I nodded slowly, the decision clicking into place. No fight, no begging, just detachment. "If that's how you feel," I said, steady as a rock, "then go see where it takes you." Her eyes widened slightly, like she hadn't expected me to let go so easily. "Really? Just like that?" "Yeah," I answered, standing up. "Just like that." I walked into the bedroom, pulled her suitcase from the closet, and began setting her things inside. She followed me silently, watching as I calmly helped her pack. I didn't say a word. Inside, I was broken, but I wasn't about to give her the satisfaction of seeing me crack. That same night, she booked a flight. By morning, she was gone. The apartment was a shell without her. Everywhere I turned, there were reminders. Her mug still sitting in the cabinet, the half-empty shampoo bottle in the shower. I didn't rage, didn't trash her stuff. That wasn't my style. Instead, I carefully boxed up what she left behind, labeled it, and tucked it away in the hall closet. Then I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, letting the silence press in. No tears, no drunken calls to friends. Just me, sitting with the reality of it all. Those first few days were brutal. I'd wake up instinctively reaching for her side of the bed, only to hit cold sheets. The confusion was the worst. How could 4 years of my life be erased by a weekend fling? I replayed our history over and over, the sacrifices I'd made. Like the night her car died in a snowstorm and I dragged myself out at 2 a.m., freezing while I jump-started it, just so she could stay warm inside. Or when she lost her job last year, I cut back on my own expenses, reassured her daily that we'd make it through. She cried on my shoulder, promised me we'd always have each other's backs. Now, she was chasing some shallow spark with a stranger, and I was left holding the weight of years that suddenly didn't matter. The betrayal stung, but it was more than that. I'd been her safety net, and she cut me loose like it was nothing. Still, I didn't spiral. I took one personal day from work, then threw myself back into routine. I hit the gym in the mornings, something I'd pushed aside before to match her schedule. I started running trails outside of town, the ones with steep hills that burned my lungs but cleared my head. I also signed up for online therapy. Talking it out helped me sort through the manipulation without turning it into a hate fest. I remember telling my counselor, she made my loyalty feel like boredom. Hearing that it wasn't me, it was her twisting the narrative, was validating. Little by little, the sting faded. I wasn't confused anymore. I was clear. This wasn't a loss, it was a close call. I dodged a future with someone who mistook commitment for settling. Weeks slipped into a month. I completely detached. Changed the locks just in case. Unfollowed her on every platform. Blocked mutual friends who might stir up drama. I didn't peek at her blog or socials. That book was closed. Instead, I focused on building myself back up. I landed a promotion at work, senior analyst, with a nice raise. Finally upgraded my desk setup. Started making the apartment feel like my space. I even began planning a solo hiking trip to the mountains. Friends started noticing the change. Over beers, one of them said, "Man, you seem lighter." He was right. Being just a roommate left me space to breathe again. But in quiet moments, the unfairness still echoed. She told people it was mutual, glossing over the reality. Word got back through the grapevine. A buddy mentioned she'd been posting vague stories about new beginnings and following your heart. Felt like a slap, like she was erasing me entirely. But I didn't bite. No petty posts, no rants. Real dignity meant walking away clean. So I sat with that sting, let it burn, and eventually it dulled into background noise. By 2 months in, I was sleeping soundly again, smiling at work. My life was on the upswing. Lila was becoming a distant figure in the rearview mirror. Then karma started showing up. At first it was subtle, like a storm brewing far off. I didn't chase it, it found me. 3 months after she left, one of the few mutuals I hadn't blocked, let's call him Josh, texted me out of nowhere. "Hey man, heard about Lila. You doing okay?" I kept my response neutral and he filled me in. Turns out she had quit her job here without a plan, packed her bags, and moved to Vegas to be with Ryan. Full send. Josh said she was posting pictures, shows, casinos, the works. Looked happy. I didn't dig for updates, but over time little details trickled in. Another friend mentioned her blog. New posts, all glowing about desert adventures and deep soul connections. The irony wasn't lost on me. Her chasing authentic sparks, in a city literally built on illusions. Then the cracks started to show. One night Josh called me out of the blue. "Man, it's bad. Ryan's a total scammer." From the pieces I put together, Ryan wasn't the bold adventurer she bragged about. He was nothing more than a hustler who lived off conning tourists and newcomers. He sweet-talked her into funding his so-called business venture, some half-baked scheme about event planning in Vegas. She ended up wiring most of her savings to him, the very money I had helped her build up over the years. It all unraveled quickly. He drained her account, disappeared without a trace, and left her scrambling. She even filed a police report, but in a city like Vegas? Good luck. Cons like his happen every day. She was left stranded. No job. She'd burned every bridge by quitting without notice. No cash. Rent was due on a dingy little apartment she had foolishly signed for. No support system. Her friends back home stopped defending her the moment the truth got out. Josh summed it up with a sharp tone. We warned her. She was just too smug to listen. Reality hit her like a freight train. She had pushed our whole circle away with her excuses, and Vegas was no dreamland. She hated the heat, the crowds, and the loneliness that pressed in from every corner. Her blog went dark, replaced with desperate online job searches. It wasn't some dramatic movie downfall. It was just the natural outcome of her choices. She tossed away stability for a cheap thrill, twisting our past to justify it. I didn't celebrate. I just noted the irony. She threw me aside like I was her backup plan, and now she was the one left broke, unraveling, and alone in a city that chews people up. The first attempt to reach me came about a week after her scam blew apart. It was a text from an unfamiliar number, probably hers since I'd already blocked the old one. Ethan, it's Lila. I need to talk. I messed up bad. I stared at it, feeling nothing but irritation. Didn't reply. Then the calls started, voicemail after voicemail stacking up. I played one just out of curiosity. Please answer. Things went so wrong with Ryan. He took everything. I'm stuck. Can we talk? I miss us. Her desperation only grew. More texts followed. I know I hurt you, but I was confused. Vegas opened my eyes. You were the real deal all along. Then her best friend Chloe decided to jump in. The same toxic friend who pushed her to make that trip. My phone rang one afternoon while I was at work. Thinking it was a client, I picked up. Ethan, it's Chloe. Listen, Lila's in a bad spot. That guy was a creep. Stole her money and ditched her. She's crashing on a couch, scraping by with gig work. You've got to help her. I kept my voice calm. Chloe, that's not on me anymore. Her tone turned sharp, laced with contempt. Oh, come on. After 4 years, you're just gonna leave her high and dry? She told me you were the reliable one. Prove it. Send her some cash or at least talk to her. She cries every night. The hypocrisy was thick. Abandon her? She abandoned me first. She made her choice, not me. I was done. I hung up and blocked her too. Lila escalated again, emails this time. Ethan, please. I finally see how good we had it. I took your stability for granted. Ryan wasn't real. He was controlling, angry, abusive before he bailed. I'm stranded here, no friends, no family. Help me get home. No sympathy left in me. Then her family got involved. Her mother texted from a number I didn't know. This is Lila's mom. How dare you ignore her? She's still your girlfriend, ex or not. You owe her. Your boring routine drove her away, and now she's suffering. Be a man and send money for a ticket. That crossed the line. Blaming me for Lila's choices. I sent one short reply. She ended it. Not my problem. Blocked her too. That's when Lila's tone turned bitter. One night she left a voicemail, voice hard and angry. Fine. Ignore me. But you're heartless, Ethan. I gave you the best years of my life, and this is how you repay me? You do owe me, for the love, the support. Ryan might have conned me, but you're worse for ghosting me now. Pick up. The power shift was obvious. From smug dismissal to desperate blame. Her real colors were out in the open, manipulative and entitled. The friends who once defended her, silent now. They saw the truth. I stayed detached. Her frantic messages became background noise. Months later, during an ordinary evening, I answered a call from a blocked number. Curiosity got the best of me. It was her. Her voice cracked from the first word. Ethan. Oh God, finally. It's me. Please don't hang up. I'm begging. I'm at rock bottom. Got evicted yesterday. I'm in a motel, can't afford another night. No money for food, no ticket home. Ryan ruined me, left me with nothing but abusive texts before vanishing. I'm terrified. Please just send me enough to fly home. I'll pay you back, I swear. We can talk after. Fix things. Her sobs filled the line, raw and pitiful. I know I was cruel, dismissive, but you were my anchor. I threw that away for nothing. Please help me. I don't have anyone else. I stayed quiet, just listening. A long minute stretched on as she begged. Ethan, say something. I'm sorry. Please let me make it right. Click. I ended the call. That was the last time. The next day, I changed my number for good. Cut her off completely. No dramatic speech, no closure for her. She no longer mattered. Meanwhile, I was building a better life, a promotion at work, a new apartment with a view, even dating casually again. This time with someone who values steadiness as strength, not weakness. Her betrayal turned into a lesson, one that set me free. Now she's just a ghost from a past I never revisit. I've moved on whole, happy, and far beyond her echo. Thanks for sticking around to hear the story. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.